Hello and welcome to the second video in this series of support demonstrations for Teacher Dashboard Managers. My name is Gordon Bobbin and I'm the current CloudShare Support Officer for the Catholic Education Office. And in this video, I'll be introducing you to the second spreadsheet that you will need to set up for Teacher Dashboard, the Student Spreadsheet. Now, the information required for this sheet is quite straightforward. You will notice in the first column that just like you had in the classes spreadsheet, there is an error checking function built into each row, and I'll demonstrate how this works shortly. The next three columns contain the student's first and last name and their email address, and most likely this was already completed for you when you were sent this spreadsheet. The first thing you should do is to check that these are accurate for each year group before you proceed any further. You'll notice at the bottom of the page that there is a separate spreadsheet for each of the year groups. So check all of them and make any necessary amendments before going any further. Once this is done, the main task now is to enter the class codes for each student in the preceding columns. The class codes should be entered in the format as shown here, with the prefix td.schooldomain and then a dash, followed by the class code. Now, this is where the error checking function becomes quite useful again. If I was to enter the code incorrectly into one of these cells, or if I was to enter a class code that didn't exist on the classes spreadsheet, I would get an error. And I'll demonstrate that now for you. So let's say, for example, if I'd forgotten to include the number 1 in this class code here, td schooldomain-7sc. You'll see how after a few seconds the green cell turns red and we get error appear over in the checking column. So this is telling you that this class code here doesn't match exactly with the class codes as they appear in the previous classes spreadsheet, either because you have made a spelling error or because the code is completely different and hasn't been entered in the classes spreadsheet. If I go back in now and make the necessary correction, I should see that very shortly that error will disappear. You'll see here now we have a green cell, and now we're okay again. The final point you need to be aware of when entering the class codes is that there can't be any blank cells going from left to right for each of the students' class codes. Now this tends to occur more with senior students, where students may not all have the same number of classes. If you leave a gap in between, so say for example we have a blank cell here in between this student's class codes, none of the classes after this blank cell will be picked up by Teacher Dashboard. The way this works is because Teacher Dashboard is programmed to read from left to right. So as it goes from class code to class code, it knows that as soon as it hits an empty cell, it automatically then goes down and starts on the next student. So any class codes to the right of it will not be picked up and thus will not enter into Teacher Dashboard. So really make sure that you do not leave any blank cells in between a student's class codes. Finally, two other sheets that you will notice down the bottom of the page are the All Students list and the Validate Data sheet. The All Students list is purely provided as a reference for you. The data on this sheet is not used by Teacher Dashboard in any way. The Validate Data sheet is used as part of the error checking process. This also is not used by the Teacher Dashboard software. However, because it is used for the purposes of checking that class codes are correct, it is important that you do not edit or delete any of the data on this sheet. Well, those are the basics for the student sheet. In the next video, I'll demonstrate how to make changes to class and student data after Teach Dashboard has been set up. But for now, I hope you found this useful, and thanks for watching.